In this video, we will go over the market simulation feature on MarketDraft. This is a free and extremely useful feature that everyone has access to. The simulator creates a personalized market simulation that you can utilize to test and learn how different investments would work for you. So let's go ahead and get into it. After clicking on Create Market Simulation, we are brought to the Setup page. In the top left box, we start by choosing what type of simulation we want to create, either a stock or a crypto sim. The next box to the right sets the trading period for the simulation. For stocks, we can select either standard or after hours. Cryptos aren't restricted to certain trade times like stocks are. They trade 24/7, which is why this is the only option in this field. After that, we now set a name for our contest. And for this contest, we'll just call it Demo. The next thing we can do, in the box to the right of the name, is set our budget. Our budget starts off at $10,000. However, we can specify whatever amount we want. And if we click on the little question mark above it, we can see that the maximum amount we can set is just $1 short of $1 billion. Our next field in the bottom left-hand corner specifies the number of entries we want. These are the number of instances that we can have within our contest, which is extremely useful if we want to test different strategies, different investment types, without having to create multiple simulations for it. We're able to choose from either one instance all the way up to 10. The last thing that we need to do is to define the duration of the contest. We do this by setting the start date as well as the end date. The simulations can run for as short as 1 day, and it is set to 1 day as default, or they can run as long as 90 days. Okay, so for those of you that are new, this next part might be a little bit confusing. But for those of you who have played a lot of the contests in our lobby already, this will actually be pretty easy. So, if we have a stock standard contest with a start date on the 23rd and an end date as well as the 23rd, then this means that the contest will lock itself from entry on the 23rd when the market opens. The simulation will run, and it will end when the market closes that day on the 23rd, after which you will get your results for your simulation. Now, in order to pick for this simulation, you're able to do so the day before, on the 22nd, but only after the market has closed for that day. And for those of you wondering what time that would be, it's 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, the next period that we could choose for stocks is after hours. Now, after hours with the same start and end time dates, this means that the contest itself will start when the market closes on the 23rd. And it will run the after hours duration throughout the 23rd and into the 24th. That means with an end date as the 23rd, this simulation will conclude when the market opens on the 24th. An after hours simulation monitors the movement in price between when the market had closed that day and until it opens the next day. This also means that you're only able to pick your stocks for this simulation while the market is open that day. The market is open from 6:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific Time, which gives you about 6.5 hours to go ahead and make your selection. Finally, we have crypto. Crypto simulations have a 24-hour run period, which means we have control of not only the date, but also the time. These simulations allow us to pick a full 24 hours ahead of the start time of the simulation. Another important thing to note is that the time being used to set the simulation is Eastern Standard Time. So if you are in a different time zone, be sure to account for that difference. Lastly, one neat little tip before I start the simulation If you forget what any of these fields do, you can simply tap on the little question mark and a pop-up with a brief description will inform you what they do. After starting our simulation, we're able to make our picks just like you would with a normal contest. However, unlike a contest, you're able to pick up to as many as 30 stocks or cryptos. Just as long as you don't go over your liquidity budget. Another neat feature is using the multiple entries that we set earlier on the previous page. We can access our different entries by using the drop-down box that's right above our liquidity. This is a fantastic little feature that will allow you to compare different investment strategies when the simulation concludes and the results come in. When you are done with your selection, just hit update and you're set. Once you are back in the lobby though, you might notice that you don't see your simulation here in the lobby settings. Don't worry though, you can always find it by looking through your My Contest drop-down menu and going to Upcoming Contests. And here you can see it. If you wish to make any changes, you can always select the Update button and make any changes you see fit. That's it for this video. Now go on and have some fun testing out some strategies.